Yeah, mom. Yeah. No, I'm recording the speed check video right now. I'm literally about to do it. No, no, Zach isn't doing this one, mom. I know he's everyone's favorite. I know, but no, I'm doing this one, mom. Okay, okay. I have to do the intro now. Okay, I love you. Bye. I have to go. Okay, intro. Take one. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Eric. You are fabulous, and we are here to discuss AEW's night one of New Year Smash. And this is Speed Check. Thank you for joining. I apologize for the delay. I have had a rough couple days, unfortunately. To put it simply, if I could describe my days as a wrestling show, it was Raw Legends night. But thankfully, things are looking up. Things are going straight to the moon because AEW was fantastic. Everything's looking up. I will try my hardest to make sure Speed Check stays on schedule. I will try my hardest for SmackDown to come out on Saturday, but so if it comes out on Sunday, my apologies. But for right now, let's get into AEW January 7th episode and see whether or not it had its foot on the gas or on the brakes in the start of the new year. Next up, I just want to point out a new rule for the Speed Check series. When I was doing the Raw Legends episode, I realized that show was so bad that I couldn't help but put the speedometer into the black, into the dead zone. So from now on, anytime a show gets into this area, then that is it. The show is a burnout. It's awful. It's a lemon. It's not going anywhere. It's spun out and it's dead. That is the absolute lowest a show can get. I will try my hardest not to give that to every bad show, just the ones that truly deserve it. But there has to be something that shows how bad a show really was. All right. The first match of the night, we start off with the Hybrid 2 and the Acclaimed versus SCU and AEW Tag Champions, the Young Bucks. This opening match gave everybody a little bit of shine. It gave the Acclaimed future young talent. It gave them the first match of the new year against the Tag Team Champions, which, that can only push them. It gave SCU legends, veterans. It gave them some shine, and we know that they have their own story going on right now. So it pushed them as well. But it also reminds us, hey, the tag team champions are fighting champions. They are in the first match of the new year. I'm surprised it wasn't Cody, because Cody's usually in the first match of like a special event. But it gave the tag champs some shine as well. The Hybrid 2, they are in a weird spot where I think they're coming back up. So this is also good for them too. Point is, this match was a great idea, great way to open the show. Everyone from every generation wins from this match. And the best part, no Hulk Hogan. I absolutely love the rapping entrance from the Acclaimed. I am 100% on board with that. Some of those lines they were dropping were cool. The whole punch to the chest is a heartbreaker. I love that. But real quick, why is John Cena the face of rapping in professional wrestling? Like, R-Truth has been around longer. K-Quick has been around, Ron Killings is still doing the thing. So can we give R-Truth some respect? John Cena hasn't rapped for like a decade, right? Listen, I understand that they're on the same network. I understand it premieres tomorrow. I understand that Snoop Dogg is on the show. And I understand that they probably have a legal obligation to do this. Or maybe they just wanted to do this. But if I have to hear the phrase, "Go Big Show" anymore, I'm going to lose my mind. They said it so many times in the opening match. They said it so many times throughout the show. They just painted my mind with the phrase "Go Big Show" that every time I hear it, I imagine the Big Show in like a Speed Razor onesie, just trying to slide into the Mach 5, trying to fit, but he's too big. You might think that doesn't make any sense, but let me just show you what I see every time they say, "Go Big Show."
And when the odds are against him and there's dangerous work to do, bet your life
The Big Show.
to see it through. Go,
Big Show.
go,
Big Show.
go,
Big Show.
go.
Now, I'm not a religious man, but I will say this. Nick Jackson has wings on the bottom of his feet. He absolutely does. I'm not saying that he's Hermes, the god of speed. I'm just saying you've never seen Nick Jackson and Hermes in the same place. You remember when you were a kid and your mom would tell you too much of a good thing is a bad thing? Well, too much Jericho on commentary is a terrible thing. He is a great commentator. Let's get that out of the way right now. He is good on commentary, but he does it too much, too often, too loud. It's like he always has to be heard. It is too much, especially on a 4-person commentary desk. It's a sensory overload when you've got 4 people talking, Jericho shouting always at a level of 9, and AEW is a fast-paced show. It's just way too much information coming in. I have to give Matt Jackson props. This dude knows how to use a camera, and he's known how to use cameras ever since his Ring of Honor days. I respect that so much. That is a skill that a lot of wrestlers need to learn. Props to you, Matt. With the rankings getting reset in AEW, I am 100% on board with the tag champions and SCU getting the first win to put them on the higher end of the rankings already. Especially with SCU's ultimatum that if they lose a championship match, if they lose a tag match period, then they will split up. I'm really hoping that the match they lose is against the Young Bucks in the world title match. I'm down for that. That'd be great. And on the opposite end, I'm also really glad that even though they lost, the Acclaimed got to be in the first match. They got to, work with 3 other great tag teams, Hybrid 2, SCU, Young Bucks. This is a great spotlight for them. They are going to go places. They are in the right spot. They're getting built correctly. So props to AEW for building future talent, for building strong current champions, and for making veterans like SCU feel like a threat without anybody getting buried in the process. AEW is getting really bad at catching censors because they made me hear Jon Moxley say the word asshole, and quite frankly, I'm insulted. Why does Miro have to dress like he's about to go out to the Amazon rainforest and play hide and seek? Oh, John Cena and Big Cass references. AEW's getting cheeky this year, huh, boys? Okay, so if you listen to the podcast, you know that Naki and I, we dabble into the professional wrestling world. So hopefully it comes as no shock. I was fully aware of what a young boy was in New Japan. I understand that is a term that is okay to use in New Japan, in Japan, period. But can we just take a pause and realize what Rusev is asking for? He wants Chuck to be he wants a young boy. And I'm sorry to be that guy. I'm sorry, I'm immature. But if he wins, he gets himself a young boy. And I'm assuming that when the wedding is over, he's gonna turn this young boy back into a man. Just let's have some new phrases. Let's phrase this differently next week, huh? This is the one and only time I will actually say the word slave is better than the word that was used. So one night only, slavery is okay. I can't lie to you guys. I've been waiting for this match forever. I love this match. The build-up has been so nice. It's just been 2 big guys just like silently asking the question, which one of us would win? I was hyped for this match, and I'm very glad they gave it away on television. This could have easily opened a pay-per-view. This could easily be the first match of a pay-per-view. And for them to give it away on live television is brilliant. I love that. and having every member of the inner circle on the stage watching them is such a great touch. After years of abuse from WWE, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was expecting this match to end in a DQ, count out, something. WWE has conditioned me to think any big match that's given away on television is going to end in a no contest. So AEW, you treat us right. You give us what we want, and for that, you are my favorite promotion. I love that. So I'm very glad that we got to see Warlord and Jake Hager fight it out. Fair, clean, no screwy finish. It was a good match. Nice work. Snoop Dogg bringing Private Party to Gin and Juice was cool, but can we just talk about how awkward it was that he had to just stand there while Matt Hardy did his thing? This actually doesn't have to do anything with AEW, but just a quick story, I guess, just to pad out time. Feel free to skip ahead if you want to get back to the AEW stuff. But I had a job where Snoop Dogg actually was going to make an appearance, and he shows up, and we take him to the green room, and we leave him alone with the other celebrities that he's with, and we go set up for him to make his appearance. We come back, and I'm not kidding, I mean, it's Snoop Dogg, so you already know where this is going. The green room was just full of smoke. It was full of smoke. The area smelled like a high school bathroom. Like, you could tell that they were smoking something good in there. And he just walks out like nothing happened, which technically you can't blame him, because I don't think any of us told him he couldn't smoke in there, which I guess here's a tip. If you work with Snoop Dogg, you should tell him you can't smoke in this area. But the best part is he literally left the joint after he was done smoking it. He left it on the table, and one of my coworkers to this day, I think, still has it. But that is just an interesting Snoop anecdote I would like to share. Thank you for listening. And now let's get back to the show with the big sweaty men wrestling in underwear. Matt Hardy throwing shade at WWE for not allowing superstars to use Twitch and Cameo while forced is still an important issue. Don't forget, WWE is a soul-sucking entity that wants to control the narrative in everyone's lives, one Twitch account at a time. Once again, AEW is late with the censorship. Darby Allin said the word shit, and quite frankly, I am insulted. Once again, Taz, a multi-time ECW champion, Brian Cage, a man who we just established is a big boy made of muscle, Will Hobbs, a man so big his nickname is Powerhouse, Ricky Starks, a man who hasn't even hit his peak yet, and Hook gets scared off by a 61-year-old snow wizard with a baseball bat. Ain't nothing but a G-thing. Okay, JR, I see you. You trading in that barbecue sauce for some gin and juice. I have to say, I actually like seeing Marco Stunt show some fire. They play their cards right. I honestly think he could be a true big-time babyface. I like this. If you've seen any of the other speed checks I've released, then you know that my number one pet peeve today is the digitally added crowd chants. Like, this is awesome, the cheering, the booing. I hate it. Hearing a genuine live chant of this is awesome from real people, that was great. It wasn't as loud as they usually are, but that's okay. That is still much better than you digitally adding it and jerking yourself off. Shame on you, WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. In the year 2021, Snoop Dogg has a better record than Keith Lee. I really hope Sasha Banks isn't the sentimental type, because after this, she's not going to be allowed to have a cousin anymore. I've got to say it. The start of this match was absolutely fun. Abaddon taking that kendo shot to the head and sitting right up, that was fun. Great start to the match. Even more, I always enjoy when demonic or monstrous characters wrestle a demonic and like monstrous gimmick. They don't do holds, they only do strikes, they move like a monster, they fight like a demon. I love when they commit to the gimmick in the ring. I liked Abaddon's work so much, I'm willing to forgive this spot for being one big endorsement for the Go Big show. I'm willing to forgive it. Now, that was just creative. Biting her neck under the ring, that was a fun spot. I really enjoy this match. This is a fun match to watch. You know, I was literally writing the entry about how I appreciate the referee putting on the black gloves as if Shida was actually bleeding from her bite wound, because that's a nice touch. That's actually kayfabe commitment. But then Chris Jericho on commentary had to point it out. Now, Chris, here's a tip. There's a difference when people pick up on their own. That's a fun detail. When you spoon feed it, it feels forced. So maybe next time you let us pick up on that, right? I mean, think about it. Have you ever heard a commentator actually say anything about the black gloves before? Like, they don't have to tell us when it genuinely happens, so don't tell us when it's scripted, you know? You versus the man she tells you not to worry about. This match was something else, because I've got to say that I think the biggest problem with AEW today is their women's division not being anywhere near as good as NXT, definitely, Impact, even WWE's main roster. I think AEW's women's division is lacking. But this match was fun, creative. It kept up with everything else on the show. I am very glad that I watched this match. I usually skip the women's matches. This one was well worth the watch. Great job, Shida. Great job, Abaddon. Everyone killed it. If Kenny Omega ever stops having those cleaner girls in his entrance, I'm going to cry and V-trigger a baby. Mark my words. I'm being sincere when I say this. The next 5 entries were just reactions to amazing spots in this match. I had nothing but reactions because this match was great. I'm willing to bet this match gets at least 4.25 stars. It was a great match, a great main event. So I'm gonna trim the fat and just say this match was great. I hope that covers my thoughts on this match because it was great. Now, that said, my biggest complaint about this episode, and the fact that this is my biggest complaint should tell you that this was a great episode, is that you're going up against NXT's New Year's Evil show and you don't spring for the ad-free main event. Like, you guys have got so much of that sweet, sweet blood money from the Go Big show, from advertising it all night. You're telling me you don't put just a little bit of that into the ad-free? Like, I'm okay skipping picture-in-picture. I don't need that. When NXT is reportedly going ad-free in the opening and the main event, you gotta go ad-free, you know? I know the numbers have shown that people don't generally go back and forth. They usually stick with one show, but you still gotta, go ad-free when you have a main event this great. Picture-in-picture doesn't cut it. So it's funny how I'm complaining about picture-in-picture, but in actuality, I watched the UK airings of AEW, and basically they don't have picture-in-picture. They have full screen commentary going on through the commercials. And there's this really fun exchange between Jericho and Excalibur. If you're watching the US version, you didn't catch. It basically ends with Excalibur asking Jericho, what's 53 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? And Jericho, 53 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. And Jericho, in like 2 seconds, is like 8 degrees flat. The correct answer is 11. But the point is, I'm telling this story to say, Jericho, if the wrestling thing doesn't work out, if the Rockstar thing doesn't work out, if the cruise ship director thing doesn't work out, math is your calling, because to get that answer so quick, so calmly on a live show, so close to the right answer, I'm impressed. I am more impressed by Chris Jericho's math than his commentary on this episode. That is the point of this entry. That is the point. Back to the regular scheduled content. I know I said I wasn't going to try to react to any more spots, but I have to point out the spot where Rey Fenix kips up from a V-trigger into a super kick was impressive. That was a very nice spot. Unless Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor have actual working lightsabers, I think this is match of the year so far. brilliant showing from Rey Fenix and Kenny Omega. And almost as if he's in agreement, Jericho says immediately after, I think that this is match of the year, to which Shivani says, "You're right, JR, you said it." How does Shivani mix up Jericho and JR? Like, one's covered in barbecue sauce, the other's covered in bubbly, dude. Get it together tonight, Shivani. Come on. This was an absolutely fantastic match. This is the last time I will say that. Great match. My heart skipped a beat. I was so scared when Rey Fenix raised his arm at the 3 count, because no one has ever kicked out or pushed out. So I was stunned. That's how you do a match. That is exactly how you do a match. If you guys remember, my biggest problem with the Raw main event was what happened after. It just basically disposed of Keith Lee, and that's because of time issues. But even that, there's a problem with if they can't time their show properly. But this main event and everything that happens after, they took time for Rey Fenix. They didn't just discard him. This main event and what happens next was brilliantly planned. A+. The Good Brothers on AEW, my lord, the prophecy has been fulfilled. Teacher says every time a too sweet is thrown up, an angel writes a cease and desist letter. This is how you have an eventful show. Everything worked out. The main event match was great. Rey Fenix, like I said earlier, didn't get buried. If anything, it helped propel his feud against Eddie Kingston and his family. And we have the Young Bucks entering the story. We have Kenny's allegiances growing. We have the Good Brothers on AEW. Everyone involved got some sort of shine. They got some sort of push. This was a great show. And the best part is we didn't need any legends for it to be this great. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this episode of Dynamite. I loved it. I literally had a crap day before I started Dynamite, and this cheered me up right away. So that's what professional wrestling is all about. It's when you watch it, you leave it feeling better. You leave it having fun. You leave it with a smile. And that is something that I think AEW does very well. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I don't even need to look at the speedometer to know that we just went straight. We broke the sound barrier. This show was absolutely jam-packed, fast-paced, terrific show. I can't wait for next week. Thank you guys for watching Speed Check this episode. Once again, I'm very sorry this episode came out 2 days late. I will try my hardest to keep it on track. The problem with doing these speed checks is that literally I can't start working on it until the wrestling shows are over, which is like 11 p.m. at the latest for some. And then that means I have to record, I have to edit, I have to publish it all in one night. And that I have not managed to do that yet without staying up till 8 a.m. So I'm trying my hardest to find some way to get this to you guys in a timely manner, but also with good quality. So please be patient as I figure that out. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a wonderful night and stay safe.